Hey, everybody. Elizabeth Salazar here. And today is day one of the training, the missing pieces to consistent income. And so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to start off by telling you my story, and then we're going to go into the formula. I am a hustler. I am a hard worker. I love a plan. I used to sell vacuums door to door. Like I was like 19, right? Not for very long. And what I loved about it was that if I wanted to sell 5, I knew that I had to knock on 100 doors. And I loved that. I loved that certainty. I loved that self-reliance, right? That it was up to me, that I was in control of getting the result that I wanted. Then I came into the online space and I was like, I cannot find the formula for this. I was doing the same things everybody else was doing. I was posting on social media. I was doing a weekly live stream. I created like 10 different freebies. I was posting on social media. I was engaging in Facebook groups, right? I was doing everything that the successful people were doing, and it wasn't creating the result. And so in my mind, I'm like, something is missing. And that's what I love about even using the term, right? Like something is missing, because it really is. On one hand, you guys, nothing is missing, but on the other hand, something really is. And so some people told me, oh yeah, go check out Mindset. But you guys, I'm the strategy girl. I was like, I started in marketing. I was like, let's do everything strategy. I only hired strategy people, and it wasn't working. So eventually I was like, okay, I'm going to check out this mindset thing. But the first person that I checked out, maybe not the first, but somebody that I checked out, her opt-in was her sitting on the floor, video recording herself, journaling for 45 minutes. And I was like, no, I don't know what mindset is, but that's not for me. And so what I'm going to show you today is a systematic way of doing mindset, a process-driven way of understanding your mind and putting together the pieces that are missing. Because action doesn't create results. Okay. So our society teaches us is that action equals results. They're like, go do more. My hustle thing, right? It seemed like it worked before, although it actually didn't. And I love to look back now and see. And so, right, our action becomes when we come into the online space, we're like, post, network, Facebook ads, do free coaching, emails, blogs, podcasts. But as you guys find out, right, as I found out, and as so many of my clients come, it creates the results sometimes, and sometimes is not consistent. So I was thinking about saving this until the end, but I want you guys to see the formula. Some of you guys know the formula. Some of you guys have seen it around, but maybe don't know how to use it. And at the end of the day, you guys, if you aren't, even if you know this, if you aren't getting the results you want, you don't know it. It's my favorite realization, right? So here's the formula. The missing formula is, it's called the model. Rick Castillo combined it out of things that other people, right? You can find all sorts of variations of it, but we're going to call it the model. And the reason that I want to start with it today as a part of this training is because every person that I coach, I want you to be watching and seeing how this plays out. In the daily work, I'm not teaching you the model. I'm not teaching you how to use it, because bringing this in and like navigating it and using it, it's going to take a little bit more than we're doing here. But when you set a goal, that becomes in this line. When you think on purpose, right? When you go into the future where it's done, this is us shaping your mind, right? So the daily work is teaching you how to use this in the simplest way to start. Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you. We've got circumstances. And what is circumstances is it's data. Data is the number of clients you have. It's the number of consults you have on the schedule. It's your goal, okay? It's just a neutral. It's a date in the future, right? How many of you guys have strong feelings about April 3rd? Probably not very many people, unless it's your birthday or like somebody you know died, right? Like unless there's something that noteworthily happened, most people don't have any strong feelings. Or 3:30. Most people don't have strong opinions about 3:30 p.m., a.m., doesn't matter, right? Because it's just data. It's a circumstance. I want you to picture Sheldon Cooper. You guys watch Big Bang Theory? And his just like very matter of fact, I always think the perfect example is when he talks about coitus, sex, right? But the way he says it and the use of a word like coitus, you don't get the same like emotion or thoughts from that word. And so when you're looking at how I coach you, if you're looking at how I coach other people, a circumstance is always present. A piece of data, of information in your business is always there. Your business is constantly giving you information, and your job is to learn how to think about it differently. Somebody yesterday reached out and to my business page and let me know that she thinks that, well, she did it with love, of course, right? But she wanted to let me know that I look really scammy and that I'm selling something that I don't have any results in and that my email address isn't professional. I was like, okay, thanks. Right? Her reaching out and saying words is actually neutral. And then I could have a thought about them. Here's what it is. In your business, there's going to be lots of neutral circumstances, like some person reaching out and telling you their thoughts. So you posting something on social media and somebody not liking it, disagreeing, hating you, whatever. It's going to be a client quitting. It's going to be somebody saying yes and then saying no. It's going to be coronavirus, right? It's going to be your entire family in your house while you still try and work. This thing here is always going to be happening. And the level and the extent to which you learn how to pull these next two pieces together around the stuff that was always going to happen is the extent to which your business grows. So every circumstance, we as humans have thoughts about the circumstance. It's a one-liner. You guys practice writing these in your introduction where you told me thoughts about you as a coach. They're simple. They're short. I am a coach. Whatever that thought is, but it's always about a circumstance. From that thought is created one feeling. There might be more feelings, but for the simplicity's sake, you're going to keep it to one. A feeling is something, I look in this in three ways. There's those of you who are very high feelers, right? You're very familiar with feelings. Then there's the segment of you who are like non-feelers. You're like, yeah, I feel good. I feel bad. Are there more? And then there's the third category of you which you might have been one of the other two categories, but you've learned emotions in a different way. And so I used to be a non-feeler. I thought only good and bad existed. And then I learned how to feel feelings because it helps me make money. No other reason was compelling enough for me to be like, sure, I'll learn feelings. So you have a feeling that's created by a thought. Remember, you guys, you're going to watch me do this in live. And then the action, right? Remember the formula people always teach us is the last two pieces. Actions equal results. Some of you guys are going to come in and you're going to be like, yeah, but you have to still take action. Yes, of course. But you're going to want to, right? And this is why these two are circled. The missing formula is that your thought and your feelings are out of whack. So for me, as a doer, as a hustler, as a get in there and get it done, my first compulsion when I wake up in the morning is to get to work. I feel this like drive, this like let's do it, this compulsion. And then I have to remember, oh yeah, but when I lead with that, I don't check in with this. And so you can do the exact same action, but if the feeling comes from overwhelm, anxiety, pressure, doubt, uncertainty, all of those emotions here tend to create actions that aren't going to create a consistent result. Okay. So over this next week, this is what we're going to be. This is what you're going to be following along and seeing is how your thought and feeling will change. And then the last thing I just want to show you real quick is the 3 steps you're doing all week long. It's so simple, right? You're going to set the goal, one client by Friday. You're going to reprogram your mind. This is the thoughts and the feelings. These are not who you are. Your thoughts are just thoughts that your brain has running. They aren't true or false, but they are habits. Like you driving a car, your thoughts happen just on default, and you have to change them to get a different result. And the third step is learning from yourself. So many people, me included, right? How do I know? Because it's easy to do. They do. They set the goal, they try and do all the stuff. And then when they get done with the goal, they're like, I have no idea why I didn't hit the goal. And I don't want to stop and figure it out because that sounds like a waste of time. Right? And then you miss all the part where you get to learn from yourself.